The Pittsburgh Pirates, a team with a long and storied history, yet one that seems trapped in a cycle of underperformance, underfunding, and missed opportunities. From not paying their players, to not making the playoffs in over a decade, to having a penny-pinching owner, to proposing one of the worst offers of all time for a one-of-one Paul Skenes rookie card. Today we're diving into why the Pirates are often labeled as one of the worst-run franchises in Major League Baseball, and no, it's not just about their performance on the field. It's about how they've handled money, talent, and even fans. The Pirates have always had a reputation for being one of the most financially conservative teams in the entire MLB, but this wasn't always the case. The franchise once had some of the most exciting talent in the game, like Roberto Clemente, Willie Stargell, and Barry Bonds. Baseball legends who helped elevate the Pirates' name, but the modern-day Pirates are a completely different story. For years now, the Pirates have operated on one of the smallest payrolls in baseball. Even when they've had legitimate talent, they've refused to match what those players are worth or what other teams will be willing to pay them. This financial frugality has led to a series of terrible decisions that have left their fans completely disappointed. In 2022, the Pirates gave out arguably one of the worst contracts in the history of the franchise. They gave Ke'Bryan Hayes an 8-year, $70 million contract, which at the time was the biggest contract in the history of the Pirates. And when you think of the Pirates, you think of names like Andrew McCutchen, Willie Stargell, Roberto Clemente, complete legends within the Pirates franchise and the entire MLB. Obviously, Clemente and Stargell played way back in the day when $70 million contracts were not really a thing, but you would think that for all Andrew McCutchen has done for the Pirates, he would have made more than $70 million with the team. But in 2022, Ke'Bryan Hayes was the highest paid Pirates player of all time. At the time of this contract being given out, Hayes' career OPS was only a 673, which is below league average. He does have some amazing defense, to be fair, but I don't think that makes up for his subpar offense. In 2024, he had a .8 WAR with a batting average of 233 and a 573 OPS. His current trajectory makes this contract a bit of a head-scratching decision by the Pirates front office. Another example of the Pirates proving to be a penny-pinching cheap team was the Bryan Reynolds contract situation. Bryan Reynolds is one of the best players the Pirates have had in recent years, and in 2019 he burst onto the scene with an all-star caliber season, finishing his rookie year with an 880 OPS and a 4.2 WAR. Since then, he's been the face of the franchise. Super consistent, super reliable, highly talented, and loyal to the Pirates organization. But Pittsburgh felt otherwise, because when it came time to sign him to a long-term deal, the Pirates front office completely stalled and offered him far below market value. Reynolds wanted a contract that would reflect his status as one of the game's top outfielders, but instead, the Pirates offered him a deal that was embarrassingly low compared to what other teams would have gladly given him. Reynolds asked for an 8-year, $134 million contract, and the Pirates' first offer to him was 6 years, $80 million, which wasn't even close to what he was asking for. This situation caused Bryan Reynolds to request a trade because he knew he could get paid a lot more than what the Pirates thought he was worth. The negotiation between the Pirates and Bryan Reynolds lasted throughout the entire offseason, and Bryan Reynolds and the Pirates ultimately agreed on an 8-year, $107 million contract, which is currently the largest contract in Pirates history. They obviously did not seem willing to pay what it would take to keep him long-term, even though it was clear that Bryan Reynolds was the heart and the soul of the Pittsburgh Pirates. In 2024, they also signed Mitch Keller to a 5-year, $77 million contract, which honestly is a step in the right direction for the Pirates, because if they want any chances of winning and being competitive long-term, they have to keep their core together. The Pirates have a huge problem that they're going to have to face within the next couple years. They're notorious for underpaying their players, and they're going to have to pay a lot more players in the near future. The Pirates currently have 4 prospects in the MLB's top 100: Bubba Chandler, Connor Griffin, Thomas Harrington, and Termarr Johnson. And on top of that, they have very promising second-year players such as Jared Jones and Paul Skenes, who they're going to need to pay if they want to have a chance to compete. Speaking of Paul Skenes, the Pirates made what could be a huge mistake involving him. Paul Skenes was doing an interview, and one of the questions he was asked was if he plans to sign an extension with the Pirates, in which he responded, "I haven't given it too much thought yet." Based on this response, you probably are not looking too deep into it, and you probably do not think it means much, but it means more than you think. This obviously means that there have not been conversations about an extension between him and the Pirates yet. This is somewhat understandable because he's only going into his second year, but this guy is a generational talent. The Pirates should take a page out of the Atlanta Braves book and give Skenes an extension right after his rookie breakout, just like the Braves did with Michael Harris and Spencer Strider after their rookie breakouts. But it's clearly evident that the Pirates do not like to break the bank and spend a lot of money, but if you're willing to pay Ke'Bryan Hayes $70 million, you should pay Paul Skenes at least double that if you want to keep him as a key piece to your franchise in the future. But it's not just about the big contracts. Sometimes it's about missed opportunities. In 2025, a young fan pulled a one-of-one Paul Skeens rookie card, one of the most hyped pitching prospects in recent memory. The value of this card is well over a few $100,000, and it could possibly be worth over 7 figures. And what did the Pirates do? They're clearly aware of the potential value of this card, but they gave this kid a laughable offer. They offered him seats behind home plate at PNC Park for the next 30 years, an exclusive meet and greet with Paul Skeens, 2 autographed Paul Skeens jerseys, and a chance to host a softball game at PNC Park. Let me know down below in the comments what you would do if you received this offer, but me personally, I'm selling that card and I'm taking the money. The Pirates' failure to even recognize the value of this unique piece of memorabilia reflects the larger issue within the franchise. They don't seem to understand what's valuable, whether it's players or assets that could generate buzz for the team. This cheapness is not just frustrating, but it's the exact problem that's been holding this team back year after year after year. When you look at the Pirates' performance over the past 2 decades, it's honestly hard to find any bright spots. They've had a couple brief postseason experiences, but they have not made the playoffs in over 10 years. Outside of those few postseason appearances, it's been a series of losing seasons. Aside from their lack of investment within the roster, it seems like the Pirates lack a long-term vision for the franchise. The team has basically become a farm system for other clubs. Great players like Gerrit Cole and Starling Marte have all been traded away, oftentimes for underwhelming returns. In 2018, the Pirates traded Gerrit Cole for Colin Moran, who has a 742 career OPS, Jason Martin, who only has 189 MLB at-bats, Michael Feliz, who has a 5.89 career ERA, and Joe Musgrove, who, as you guys all know, isn't even on the team anymore. Every year, it seems like the Pirates are forced to rebuild only to watch their best talent leave once they start to show promise. The most heartbreaking part about all of this is the impact on the fans. Pittsburgh fans are some of the most loyal and passionate fans in all of sports. They've supported this team through thick and thin and during years of failure, and yet the franchise keeps offering very little in return. This constant cycle of rebuilding, trading away stars, and refusing to spend money on talent creates a very toxic environment for the fan base. It's hard to stay hopeful as a Pittsburgh Pirates fan when the team's management seems more interested in saving money than putting a competitive product on the field. The Pirates definitely aren't a team without potential. They have a rich history, a beautiful ballpark, and a loyal fan base, but until the front office starts investing in its players and changing its approach to the team building, the Pirates will continue to be stuck in the same cycle, one that keeps them at the bottom of the standings and leaves their fans feeling forgotten. So what does the future hold for the Pittsburgh Pirates? That's honestly the question we're all wondering here. Paul Skeens himself said that he thinks the Pirates will make the playoffs next year, which could leave fans with some sort of hope. But to be honest, unless they change their ways, the Pirates will likely remain one of the most frustrating franchises in the entire sport. Something else that's pretty frustrating for MLB fans is the Los Angeles Dodgers. Drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you're new, and click the video on the screen if you want to see why the Los Angeles Dodgers are going to be even better than they were last season.